Hey, it's your favorite neighborhood soup lady here, Caroline. Today I'm gonna make a classic soup. I'm putting my own spin on it, but it's not technically mine. I think it belongs to grandmothers in the Catalan region of Spain. Before I was a soup lady, I actually helped to write a Catalan cookbook, and this is one of the recipes. It's similar to a recipe that's in that book. The recipe is called Cigrons and Espinacs, which means chickpeas and spinach. And it's a really classic, straight vegetarian, lovely bowl of chickpeas. And I want to show you how to make it. It's so cool to make. So it comes from a couple of, regular ingredients that you'll recognize, but we're just gonna put a cool flair on them. It's an onion, some pine nuts. So we make a really cool piccata, which is like a flavor base. And that comes from pine nuts, a slice of bread, and parsley and whole cloves of garlic that you fry in olive oil. And then you blend it up to make this thickening mixture for the gravy. It's so good. And then into the soup goes the smoked paprika. If you have pimenton and want to be fancy about it, that'll work too. But of course, I always use dried beans. This is a pound of chickpeas that have been soaked overnight and then drained. This is 5 ounces of baby spinach. So those are all the ingredients of the soup. Let's get cooking. So we start off, my pan is nice and hot. I'm adding quite a lot of oil, about 3/4 cup. I know it sounds crazy, but it's what makes the gravy of this soup so delicious. It's part of the flavor of the soup. And also, you don't eat it all in one sitting. It's divided by 8 to 10 bowls, so we're okay. So we heat up this olive oil until it's nice and fragrant. So I add all of these things, the garlic, pine nuts. We're just gonna toast them all. I like to toast them until they're quite so these parsley leaves are from that small bunch that you saw earlier. It's about 1/2 cup of leaves. They are dried, but obviously they contain moisture, so they're gonna snap in the hot oil. And don't forget to add these breadcrumbs. So I'm just gonna stir it until it gets nice and brown, which will just be a couple of minutes. And then I will strain it to reserve the oil that I'll cook the soup in. All right, that these pine nuts are a very golden brown. These cloves, in part because they're so big, are just a little bit brown, and the parsley is very much fried. So what I'm doing is I'm taking out all the solids and leaving the oil behind to reuse for the soup. So I'm going to set this aside, and I add the oil. I'm gonna turn this, I'm gonna add the oil back in. And now we're gonna start on the rest of it. So we have an onion. This oil is very hot, so I can get started. I'm gonna sweat this in this oil that we were working with. We're gonna get that nice and soft. Now we have our beautifully sweated onion. I can tell it's golden brown, nice and tender. I'm going to add some tomato paste to start, break it up a little bit, and that smoked paprika, and our piccata base. Again, I love it dark like this because, like I said, it's like a roux sort of together. And I'm just gonna add my soaked chickpeas and my water. And then I'm just gonna stir in all the water, break up all of that piccata that you can see. Perfect. I'm gonna season it with some salt because I just added a bunch of water and some pepper. So we just cook this. You bring it to a boil, reduce it to a simmer, uncovered, until the liquid has greatly reduced. The chickpeas have plumped up nice and until they're tender, which is about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how long you've soaked your chickpeas. All right, here we go. We have all of our chickpeas. We have this nice thick gravy. The broth has reduced quite a bit. Now we stir in our currants, which will plump up nicely in there, and all of our spinach. So this is a soup. You can determine how much broth you want, and you could add water to make it the density that you like. I prefer this very tight, mostly like a bowl of beans. I love to serve this over rice. We add cider vinegar first. And then you add more of that if it needs more. You could use sherry vinegar. That would be like the most Catalan choice. I don't happen to have any on hand right now, which is unusual, but cider vinegar also works. And those plump currants. Currants might seem like a weird choice. Currants and pine nuts are a very, very typical thing in Catalan food, so I didn't make that up. It's really lovely. If you don't believe me, you should give it a try. You'll love it. Yum. So tasty. All right, let's make a bowl. I love this one. Not only does it remind me of the time I got to spend in the Spanish countryside, but it's just really, really delicious. I think you'll love it. I hope it's in my first cookbook, Soup Club. I hope you'll pick it up. You can get it anywhere books are sold, or you can also get it at the Book Larder at booklarder.com. The Book Larder is a local bookstore to me, and they're just the best. You can get a signed copy there, and I hope you'll follow along here on YouTube, or also it's posted on my soupclubcookbook.com website, or find the teasers on Instagram. See you later. Hope to see you next week.